Okie dokie, so here we go. This is my opinion on Selkies Are a Girl's Best Friend by Molly Harper, book 3 of the Mystic Bayou series. I still enjoyed it. We're 3 for 3 now. Really liked it. The couple, okay, sorry, synopsis time first. So, the plot of this is that Sonia, Jillian's best friend and also a member of the League, has come to work in Mystic Bayou. She's been working there for, I think, they make it seem like maybe it's somewhere between 6 months and a year. Like, she's been in the town for a while. So, she's in town and they're trying to get a clinic set up because they need a doctor that understands the magique. And yeah, because they can't always go to a normal doctor when they have a magique problem. So, new doctor's coming to town, and we actually, I think it's in the second or the first book that this guy is mentioned, that he's a doctor who left town and now he's coming back. That is Will. He's a Selkie, and he's kind of a bit of a pariah from town, just in the fact that he left but is now coming back. And people don't usually leave from Mystic Bayou. It's this super tight-knit community. And she does kind of a cool thing with explaining it, that La Fale, which is where the rift is, has a tendency to call the shifters to it, and they feel comfortable there, but Selkies are also drawn to the sea, so he is dealing with kind of this split draw between La Fale and the sea. So he's back in town getting set up for the new clinic to help people. And yeah, it's just them dealing with setting up the clinic, just dealing with the rift, which is becoming more unstable. And of course, there is another mystery in this one. Someone is screwing with the books. They're making weird charges, trying to figure out, and Sonia is trying to figure out who's doing this. I will say there's a point where I'm like, it's him. It's him. It's him. She tries to set up a red herring of like, well, maybe it's that guy. And it is pretty comedic when they actually realize that it's not. And it's like, oh, well, I would have liked the symmetry. It's pretty funny. But it was one of the ones where I was like, it's going to be him. It has to be him. The other ones were at least a little surprising. This one was like, it's him, guys. Who else could it be? And it's that there's, a faction within the League that wants Magique to go public, and basically their idea is that if they rip open the rift, everyone will turn Magique and humans will just be outnumbered. She actually calls it out. She's like, your plan is literally Magneto's plan from the first X-Men movie. Is the one thing I really like with this author. She does a really good job working in pop cultural references in a pretty natural way. They talk about Game of Thrones a lot in this, and she does a really organic way of putting in these pop cultural references, which, I mean, for me, I kind of noticed them. I'm like, oh shit, that's a pop culture reference. But I like it because it feels grounded, like this is our world, because this is still technically an urban fantasy. So it does date it. It tells you like when it is, but I like it because that's my problem with a lot of urban fantasies, is that the pop culture usually is never brought up. So I really like it. So anyway, they have to find out who is screwing with the books. It's pretty obvious who it is. You also find out in this book that Jillian is pregnant with a little half phoenix, half dragon baby, and she's vomiting blue lava. That is some wicked morning sickness. So yeah, you've got Baal being super overprotective dragon daddy that he is, and there's some cute moments with them. Yeah, you get a lot more of Jillian and Baal in this one, which makes sense because Sonia and Jillian are best friends. So you get a lot of cuteness with them, and it also ties into to Sonia, because her whole thing is, Jillian's getting married, she's starting a family, all of this stuff, and Sonia's kind of feeling a bit left behind. Kind of plays into her character arc for the story. There's a bit of Zed and Danny in this, not a ton, but they are there. So anyway, back to the plot. They have to find out who the bad guy is. They do. They get drug out to the rift, because I feel like all these books have to end at the rift. And they find out that there's this crazy artifact that is tied to the rift, and they have to figure out what this thing is. They have no idea, and they don't even know what it'll do to anybody if they get too close, which is the plot for the next book, that they're bringing in a specialist to help figure it out. I'm definitely listening to the next book. So, with the characters of this, we have Sonia Fong, who also healthy family relationship. Thank God. Her parents are so cool. Like they're awesome. I love the interactions with her parents. Yay, no more dickhead dad club for this one. Henry Fong is a cool guy. I was very happy to see a healthy family relationship for the heroine. Unfortunately, Will does not have that. His parents were like mega abusive to each other. It was not a happy relationship. They ended up being, he and his brother ended up getting raised by their grandparents, who did have a very healthy relationship, but we'll still have to rack one up for the dickhead dad club. Dickhead both on this one. Um, so yeah, Sonia, she's very intelligent. It's kind of alluded that her dad was a Cold War era spy, so she's very smart at like finding things and sorting things out. So yeah, I really liked her. I liked her character arc of feeling a bit left behind and trying to figure out what she wants in her future, because she's seeing her best friend get married and have a baby, and she's just feeling a bit left behind and trying to figure out if she wants a really serious relationship with Will. And then Will is he's got more issues, definitely stemming from his parents and their seriously messed up relationship. The one thing I like that people actually call him on it and are like, dude, you're using this as an excuse. Like, we get it, it screwed you up, but you have to, like, I think it's Zed who yells at him that he's like, dude, just get into therapy, do something, because this is not getting any better and you're destroying the best thing in your life for this. I also really liked what she did with Selkies, because part of Selkie lore is that they're seals in the water, and when they get out of the water, they take off their pelts and they turn into beautiful men and women. And if you steal the pelt, the Selkie will stay bound to you. But then when the Selkie always wants their skin back, and they can escape back into the ocean. So she did it where they have these bracelets that are full of these beads that are tied to the ocean and are made from like their beads from their parents and ancestors. So it's like they're tied to the ocean. It makes it easier for them to shift. It makes them more relaxed. It's very important to Selkies. So, of course, there's some drama that happens with that. And this one does have the third act overreaction breakup, but they both kind of acknowledge that they overreacted in the situation, that it was a heat of a moment sort of thing. But they get over it and they end up together, and it's super sweet. Will, yeah, I liked him. I like that he's from the Bayou, but he's a bit more of a city guy. He's been spending like the last 20 years in Seattle, which was kind of fun. I enjoy some Northwest representing. And I liked his brother. His brother is also really fun. He's a boat mechanic and he's enjoyable. He's got his own issues because he's got like this scar on his face that when Sonia first sees him, she's like, oh, it doesn't look that bad. It's not that big of a deal. Why does he not like going to town? He's like, oh yeah, because people stare at him. And she's like, well, it's not that big of a deal. Because you find out that his brother decided to fight a kraken, and then the kraken basically like ripped half his face off, and because of kraken poison or whatever, it took like 40 years to heal. So he had like this seriously screwed up face for a really long time. So he didn't want to go into town because people, look at him weird. So he's getting over that, which was a really cute little subplot. Yeah, just overall, still great, still loving it. Mystic Bayou, I'm loving the mystery and how each book reveals a little bit more about the rift and what's going on. The next book, I don't remember the title of it, but it's something about banshees, because it's a psychic who's being brought into town to help try to understand the artifact, and she's working with a guy who is one of the very few, very rare male banshees. So I'm looking forward to that, because yeah, I am absolutely loving this series. I stayed up way too late last night so I could finish this. Um, yeah, just, God, I cannot give enough praise to Mystic Bayou. Love it. And the other thing that I really enjoy about it is that the previous romances are still integral to the story. Like there's Zed and Danny are still there, Jillian and Bale are still there. Oh, that's the other characters I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, seeing a bit more of them in the next book is that Sonia's parents come to town because they also work for the League. So, and her mom is like a physicist, and they need someone there to help with the physics side of the rift. So, I am definitely looking forward to more of the Fongs because hashtag relationship goals with them. So yeah, just enjoying the hell out of this series. I can't wait for book 4. I don't know if book 4 is the end or not. I've tried looking it up a little bit to see if there was any, like, book 5 in the works, but I didn't want to dig too deep into that because I didn't want to find out any spoilers for book 4. I don't know if book 4 is going to be the end or not. We'll see. I kind of hope not. I kind of want some more Mystic Bayou. So yeah, this one gets a 4 out of 5 on Goodreads for me. Very enjoyable. I have started listening to his Wicked Reputation. So far, interesting enough. There's a murder mystery slash art theft plot going on. It seems interesting enough. I will give you guys my thoughts on that probably in the next couple of days. So, yeah, Mystic Bayou, we are going 3 for 3 on this series. I'm just so happy to have a series that I am really enjoying. It's been a while since I've had one. So, yeah, and that's just my opinion. If you disagree, cool. If you want something you want me to take a crack at, leave your comments down below, and I'll see you guys in a little while.